Amaku is smelling. The world will be a stinking place. The man no one some live freely because he's in and about too much. A banyan at the call room of doctors. Banyan at their clinic, the same thing. Malaria in ya then was because Nanla on a moto. Because I want to attend a moto, the less than I want to attend a call room. The gate is about the Amaku, and we a lot of nukute gully there that no one partial fracture. Moto be a gaffe that gully. Now the fracture got complete.
Yeah, but Amaku General Hospital. Who goes to hospital? See there?
Ọkwa politician any appointment emelia condition of service or dem ebunyekwa ya moto ọfụ mana doctor si gị ọkụ adịrọ n'ebe ọ na-alụ ọrụ gọọmenti neglect ya emego m surgery countless times na Amaku a with touchlight ọ na-ebido with ọkụ in the process ewele ọkụ ya gba nkịtị ewele touchlight metọpụ nke fọnụ the government nọ na-eme nnọọ mkpọtụ create a system where people can go and die. Our government enwere priority on intellectual talent. Priority government bụ on politicians and ndị native politicians mkpu ịmaka ihe ọ ga-eteke iwe bụrụ consultant ihe mere residency for 6 years ya na-apụ consultant is less than 1 million naira peanuts compared to ihe politician na-ewe. The governor asị gị na ego adịrọ agwaghị ego ọ na-need to get the things anyị na-ekwu okwu ebe oluokwa 400 million. Ije na manifesto Governor Soludo page 34 to 38 everything on there is on health. Most of the things in ebe he has not done any of them. 4 years ago we are still looking into that. Ikwuo something kwulu n'ihe ikwu show all workings. Ọgwụ bụ equipment and the people na-alụ n'ime ya. Ihe a alụ here bụ a beautiful complex. Ikpe ya trauma center bụ abuse of the word trauma center. Ọ kwesịrị inwe the latest standard MRI, very active cath lab. ECG dị ebe a ọ na-alụ ọrụ ọfụma. There is nothing. Mmadụ nwee heart attack sọsọ Chukwu ga-azọ onye. So kedu ị na-akpọli ya trauma center? Adọnshọ na gọvanọ ejenegodo Amaku sef jee check BP nye ebe a. Amili ọbala check ya. Ọnọkọta ebe a were ọkụ jụọ waya ọkụ abịara asa na diesel abụgo na eji gbata diesel. So ọ bụrụ na ịma nlinwu from the plate isi enye ndị mmadụ. What are you talking about? Before Professor Soludo became governor, he writes letter a lot to leaders to lead well. Now he became the governor. They started singing progressive and working together. Ịma na ọ bụ na ịmara ihe deserve ihe ọ bụ na enye gị iweli ya as I'm grateful. I have to go on ụzọ. I don't want to go to the quality of road before as na mabekwa. Why are you telling them that they'll go road? Are you not going there to collect taxes from them? One of the funny things is that every youth in Anambra State wants to be shouting, solution is that. If they've seen the real solution, they will know that they are getting peanuts in the name of an iced cake. No go economy forget what happens in Nigeria. But I don't find fulfillment as a person not talking about it.
Bam, 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 bam. And the by Maka say me and not get bam. You guys know how to do it. Like, I want that or bam. Iman or bam. Abuka ni nwere obi etekwa na arụ if you no get my come up body. In the spirit of nyandeba, I know somebody that is unique in the building. You know afam kabu Chijioke Igwendo dogubu yamba ba izboto onya ba imana agwa munu na enworo de mmadu namba afu na gbam icho ka akụkasị icho ka amụta ichokwa ka agba torch afụ ụzọ tata anyị nwelu dibịa oyibo ndị Igbo si na onye njenjem ka onye isi awụ ama ife anyị nwere somebody that is widely traveled and then exposed otego anyị na-achụ ya si ya nna biko mgbe ọbụla eto down jela anyị arụ ka let's tap into this your wealth of knowledge or a doctor that is based in Canada man or ezigbo onye Igbo ba or somebody very invested with ife na-eme na Igbo and Nigeria mgbe ọbụla ọ na-eti ọkụwa government side ọkụwa fame nke ọma ọkọmend efa fame kwa nke ọjọọ ọkụwa so today we have somebody that is very balanced when it comes to logic and reasoning ka nabata no Dr. Charles Kenechukwu Ojukwu CKO Okunenyeife na otego anyị na-ayọ ise gị biko mgbe ọbụla ịgbatara na ọ bụgoro na Abuja ka ị nọ kama ga chọba flight ma gị tụọ down ka anyị kpaa anya bụ nkata nọ na gbam kọwala anyị kedu onye bụ CKO. Go ahead please.
CKO bụ acronym of my full names, Charles Kenechukwu Ojukwu. Abụ m onye agbata in Idemili North Local Government Area. And aga m akwụkwọ na from nursery school, a defunct unique nursery school n'Ogidi, then ga Holy Land Primary School, ga Akpakọgwe, then ga Ilongwodo. So ya na nga multiple primary schools. Organizing my bụ na my mother bụ a primary 6 teacher.
Oh.
So ka m gụcha Holy Land, which is private, mgbe m chọzi ịba primary 4, Osimba 4, 5 and 6 adịgo nso maka a na-akpọ ya senior class na primary school.
Yes.
So na ụmụ ya ga-anụ ya close anọ ya nwa ga-akụzilu m na primary 6 because ọma na-akụzilu m ndị ọzọ ọma akụziri nwa nke ya. So ka onye nwa ya ihe ọ na-enye ndị ọzọ ka amakwa na ọ bụrụ ajọ ihe ka ọ na-enye ndị ọzọ. So mgbe nche ego primary 6 mpụkwa from Akpakọgwe jeze elu obodo go only primary 6 gosizia from there nene common entrance pass ya CKC na Unizik a na-asị ịbụ onye Catholic jebe CKC afọ m pụtara ugbo na abụ na CKC
and then Unizik secondary school
and DMGS. Sorry, okay. CKC and DMGS. So after I put out twice na CKC, but I once na DMGS. A lot of people know we born a Catholic, and if I put out twice here, why don't you go to CKC? From there, DMGS will be buzo there, but at the school, you go that red painting. Everything the school dike ebube ebe nsi mba kuna ebe aka nga no. So mecha registration na DMGS as I got to CKC again. So
akuna no ya DMGS over CKC.
I spent between 2000 and 2006 in DMGS. I was a pioneer chemistry lab prefect. Na DMGS mgbe late canon mba negosi na need inwe lab
venerable mba nugo.
Yeah. Lab prefects to man the lab. So I was kedu ndị na like chemistry, calculation, experiments and all those things. So the teacher did charge of chemistry maths. No, one student did man chemistry practicals. Ocho kobo all this all. That can say chemistry lab prefect. Go China DMGS the same year 2006. Bata Unizik medicine. Go Unizik 2006 to 2012. Graduate here after 6 years na Unizik. Then je Ebonyi. Ije me my housemanship. 1 year. Mechaya. Cho ije Delta from my service. Atoyali am jem Boronu mgbe Boko Haram na-eme 2015. So nsizia ka Delta na workro. Atuje Boronu ka nnọdụzie Ebonyi nọ. Na onye buru botalata kora.
Yes.
So that's why I'm in Ebonyi 2 years. Mekuzie my NYSC. Mechazia nachita Anambra. Bido luo enweta m ọlụ na Lagos. Mana ka njesi the Lagos mecha interview. The ya na stress ngabiga weje the Lagos mụ ala aghọtara ya. So wee weta Anambra si na nga alụ na Anambra. Ka bido there. Luo n'Ọka a bit. Meanwhile mgbe na alụ n'Ọka all of my friends na alụ na ọnụọgwụ a na-akpọ Bekee Hospital.
Bekee?
Yeah. So the only one with the hospital, akpọgo m na phone. So I'm more reluctant simply because my mother bụ onye n'Imo. So enji onwe m bụ ka m esi gocha medicine jekwazia na village my mother practice na agbaga bụ ka na agbada. Ofu uche wee sị m jegodu saa abụọ ndị be afọ mụlụ gị nọ na from n'Imo ka esi nweta nwaanyị mụta gị jee saa abụọ ha de. So hapụ all these sentiments and extravaganza of nọ n'Ọka. Wee si Ọka kwalụ gaba n'Imo. Lụọ ya 6 months. Then on research mme na obstetrics and gynecology then mgbe na-eme housemanship na Ebonyi. So that research ka Professor Cko, former commissioner and former CMDF, wee kpọọ m na phone, give me research, contact, kpọọ m na phone. See, Ogo abụọ eme research, yes. So gị na Professor Umar emekwa, say yes. I say, okay, na achọ m ịfụ gị, na m had ready. I'm ready all the time. Na moto my flash na adị. Second mgbe ị ga-abịa for the discussion on the research in CH. Oluechi nkwado bịa. My interview for Amaku bụ that research. I think the man sim EG primaries, like primary qualification for specialty in obstetrics. It's an EG me ozugbo. Otu aka residency si bido na Amaku. So I'm lụọ na Amaku for 3.5 years. Then West Indian Ajom. If was things on the global scale.
3.5 years.
From 2016 February to 2019. So West Indian Gaza for things in global scale. Ga UK. Low UK, bidoka residency ọzọ n'isi, specialist training ọzọ na UK. Mecha ya na UK 6 years, then move to Canada.
Oh.
As a specialist and a consultant in family medicine. So back primary care medicine Canada.
Oh.
So yeah, but the journey of
that was a very inspiring journey. I didn't catch where you're from.
Abatete.
Oh, Idemili,
yeah.
Ị ga DMGS. Setting with 2-6. Kedu afọ ị na-azụ na DMGS? Get your guy name then. Do you have a guy name then?
Tentewa.
Secondary school is funny, you know. It was set to sympathy.
Yeah.
Fine.
But
Okay, because I left 2-8.
okay.
And now I'm sympathy. Sympathy also had a brother in our set or something like that.
Actually, forgot my friend. No, oh no.
Yes. Oh, okay. Tentewa. If you are just for evil doer, nah, I've had that. It got DMGS. It's like over CKC. Do you regret that?
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all. Because DMGS, ihe dị iche na CKC ka abịa agụbazi bụ na CKC nwere very good discipline. I have to say the truth. Ha nwere very good discipline. Mana ebe na DMGS, ihe anyị ji caliber academics. You guys go. And ịchọ ịba ụlọ ịchọ na n'iyi enyere gị aka.
Onye ọbụla enwe.
So ebe choose lane gị.
Yes.
So lane nke anyị, we form like a clique, not compete with each other. Na-ejegasị lesson. And I fire brain. So iron sharpened iron. That was the mantra then at DMGS. And things now go off man. This case they got discipline though. My DMGS, I think it will form you and balance you as a man into the jungle. So that's what happened. I don't regret it.
What is it about DMGS? Bono onye na agaria one ebe. Onye gakwania, we carry it like a badge. What do you think about that school?
During the assembly ground, the Banugo then will be teaching you the ideals of Ebo Onye Dengram. Such that now, if fly out to Onye Dengram, what they can use or
even outside the school.
Man, you talk on na go for go bar break, bullying egg lift. That's what they go anywhere. So, anyway, this brotherliness, no DMGS for DMGS EBA or bata no office here. Most likely, no DMGS are qualified for that in again. What here? So that is the brotherliness in DMGS. We carry it beyond the school.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. That in as only Abatete, kedu what is it about Abatete that Abatete Jibulo Bobono and no mother say, oh, Abatete in Anambra State. Ke ihu nemekalecha Abatete.
Abatete is like a uniting town on the center. You see, each one in Eje Onitsha, Umuoji, Obosi, Orukwu, Eziowele. You might get any of this place, maybe borrow through Abatete.
I agree.
So on the etiti. Then the heji malakwana ebuna. Because na the etiti, I know about the visitors very well. Because you know about the visitors here senior and when I goes.
Yes.
And I be people that are dependable and trustworthy.
Yes.
When it comes to mmadụ na mmadụ na-emekọ. And ụmụ nwaanyị anyị na-abụ ezigbote nwunye. Ndị ụmụ nwoke anyị na-abụkwa ezigbote di. And enwekwa ezigbote nkwụ iti.
Enwe na-asị na ofe mọmị atọrọ ụtọ. Ọrụ ozi mgbe ya n'ụzọ. Anyị amazi alụ biko ọ bụrụ na ịlụgo nwaanyị Abatete. Come and confirm this from CKO. CKO, it's so very nice to meet you. Kedu as onye mapugo no ikugo village ese na ego na akara ogbe enwe ka isikwu abaka ogbe onye ni Omano village school oboro okadegeta with the same name.
I think I'll change you get to central.
That is one thing with our system, you know. We change some of these names that meant something to us, you know. So somebody Ikugo village, Kwa City, Keta Inobodo Yibo. Kedu your experience? You've seen the world on the global stage. Kedu ihe ifocha some of us so na-eme as Nigeria bungu apugo obodo Yibo. You feel like this person awatabe how life works. As a medical doctor sigo oboda poor. What do you kedu advice again you na apple forward?
I want advantages, more disadvantage. Maybe they got it from our advantage. I want a very good communal living. That's I want a little or no mental health problem here because people who are communal living that one nigga can be your keeper, one nigga genyele ga zuo nwa gi, nebo yi genyele ga zuo nwa gi. Ị ga-afụ mmadụ gị na akpala nkata and all that. Ọ dịrị otu a n'obodo ebe on your own. Each other ka ime ka so young God that for sin disturb ya. Ikwu we get akpọ the police. So on that aspect of human relationship, I want clear and all the more real than the plastic nature ndị nke ndị ọcha si wee nwee nke ha because onye ọcha nwere gechigharị gị ọchị iru osiri n'obi mana onye be anyị chibogokwu gwa gị o weli gị iwe mana ọ na-eweli gị iwe direct ọchị alụ gị ọchị mana ọchịsara gị ọchị ọcha nwere ike na-achịsa gị ọchị mana iwe dị alụ bịawa gị azụ
yes you're in trouble
so sometimes onye na-achịsa gị ọchị ijuwa onwe gị na onwe na-emebi
devilish smile
because na ọchị ya tọrọ nkịtị then on the other angle ndị be anyị nọ here na-enwebeghị that experience amara ihe ha na-emis ha amarodo ihe ha deserve ịma na ọ bụ na ịmara ihe i deserve ihe ọ bụla enye gị iweli ya as I'm grateful mana ọ bụ na ịmara ihe i deserve onye weta nke ọ bụla isi a na ihe enwere isi you can now question the person authoritatively based on the fact na ịmụ ihe the right. Most of our leaders macha ihe dị mma ha na-abịacha obodo ebo ha bacha nọ ha pụọ ha na-afụ ihe dị mma mana the point bụ na they will not do it or implement that in half.
Bring it back home.
And bring it back home. Ha jecha mbecha enjoy there. Abịa there enye gị obele ịkụọla ha aka too ha agbadagbada onye ọbụla ezu ike. That doesn't make sense.
And something that I noticed that you're very passionate about the welfare of doctors. And that leads me to the next question, the Chapa syndrome when it comes to the medical industry, because I want entertainment, we call it the medical field. Okay, is it a very good development for this? Okay, let me go somewhere else. Just like you said, you want to go and have a global view. For that, I say yes, better pay. For that, I say okay, if you keep living here, what do you have to say about this whole Ndi medicine? Onye ọbụla mecha, onye ọbụla na-achọ awe. Ma ndị chọkwu inukwu nọọsụ, maka na asị na nọọsụ nwa ịnụọ nọọsụ. That na onwe nke nwe ka esi akịa na nọọsụ bụ school hot cake. What do you have to say about that development?
Audio unfortunate. Some of us, onye mama ọfụma na medical school, na guy mete politics na medical school. Onwere mgbe nji wee plan wee che na mma apụ.
Yes.
Plan m niile emogotu nwoke si akwado ndị ya bụ Nigeria. A na-eje obodo ebe visit na-abata. Mana onwe ihe mee mgbe Goodluck na-achị, enwe mgbe enwe nationwide strike of resident doctors, ban na residency. What that means bụ na every doctor gocha medical school ga like specialize na one area. And for you to specialize, you get residency. If there's a ban what the residency, because na doctors gba strike. The thing na linga, all set just above us. Ka ọ bịa kuchie. Some of them, they lucky, escape. Mana from our own set, ka ọ bịa kpochie complete that na. Enwe dị ime ga-eje nweta residency. In fact, ụfọdụ nwụcha in the process na na-eje interview upon interview. Interview ya abịa na-eje, ajụọ gị enwe leta iji bịa. Ị na-agbakọ. Ọ na ọ bụ ọzọ ihe ide n'isi gị ka ga-etinye gị residency slot. Asị gị enwe leta iji bịa. Ị mechakwa ndị interview. Ị nụ na-ebido gị ọlụ. O nwere ga-agwa gị result, o nwere ga-agwa gị ka esi wee mee anything.
Me pass boy feel more qualified.
Ndị nwetara na asị gị na enwekwa uncle mụ na nke a, ọkwa nke no presidency, this and that. I jecha interview, I jem National Hospital. I je Era. I je Bini. I je UNTH. Nnewi ada ewe mgbe ha. Ya mgbe e lift to the ban. Ị na-akwụwali na the whole country. Enwere colleagues ndị gbajiri ọkpa.
Medical doctors.
Ndị nwa anwụ. Moto ha nwa accident n'ụzọ. For my own experience, ka m na-achọ ije nke Imo State FMC Owerri. Buru moto m nọdụ na trafik. Tipa nọ m n'iru, nọkọtara olu azụ.
Jesus.
Ka mụ nwa na-azụ, mmadụ nọ ka m n'azụ.
Oh, and o wiki nya nwa amara ihe na-eme.
Mmeghe moto m gbapụzi ọsọ. Windscreen moto m, ọkụli ọkwa ya na-eje interview. Ọkụli ya, if we interview as we counselor. Mgbe aga na see myself that na this interview ọ dịkwa ka Chukwu achọrọ. Ịma na ọnwụ ya egwe onwe gị ọ dịkwa Chukwu achọrọ ka nje this thing. Ka m bụrụ ngwongwo m naba. Mgbe ọsịsa ndị mụ na ha na-alụ na Amaku na m adịghị ejezi anywhere again. Because mgbe I scale bụ Amaku residency very well. Na m adịghị ejezi anywhere again. That na ka na-ebe mbezi ya. Then from there, if that na in nature the practice, nature ndị bugu ụzọ gbaba ọsa. You know, I wonder, our government then what a priority on intellectual talent. Priority government on politicians and the native politicians if onye gụcha akwụkwọ ọfụma pụta enyi ya dị ka ebe a na ebe ọkụkọ na-abụ nsị aja so iwere nwayọ fụ ibe gị na-eme ede exam asị gị ede IELTS ede plab imove. And I keep shutting that idea of writing the exam off since until my friend Dipo sim never. So at a point when your career satisfaction is not being met, it's like this thing. Poor. Now on the aspect of Japa, I keep on telling my friends, so bro, you may travel, ABC. If at all one thing with me, I come back almost every 3 to 4 months since India.
Wonderful, commendable.
Since 2019. So I don't know go 1 year straight man to Nigeria. So that way, and I also have this personal dedication and agreement with Chukwukem that you have to give something back to the
home.
place you left.
Yes.
Even though in Noria. So there are many ways in which medals giving back and all that. So Ajaparam, I just want knowledge, experience, and resources back to Ebensi Webtown.
I agree because onye na-abata 3 to 4 months, onye no so somehow. That person is clear. But CKO, what do you think is the future of medical doctors and medical practitioners in this country?
With the current operating system of governance, the future is bright. Regions are not bright, but they are not being paid accordingly based on their talent, based on their services. Otherwise, in Nigeria, they can develop country. I'm saying, no, I'm not copying that. Those developed country, even a payment cadre of all those people on health, not just health, based on academic inclinations and academic qualifications, go more. In our own, you got 4-year doctor. Peanuts compared to a politician. A politician should not earn more than a doctor. In UK, politicians do not earn more than doctors. In Canada, politicians do not earn more than doctors. So why should politicians be any more than doctor here? It is when you pay that doctor commensurately well, that doctor will be mandated to deliver the best of service because only the DJ courses are abroad. Cross-fertilize their ideas on global scale to understand the newer trends and newer guidelines on how to manage a condition. Or when you manage a ticket to UK or America, they happen in. So with this current operating system and governance system, and what is the future? My actual good future, we should pay doctors very well. A consultant is less than 1 million naira. You get take you a consultant. He made residency for 6 years. But in less than 1 million naira. About 700,000 or 800,000. Doesn't make sense. Amaku check here.
Though you've given a type of clarifications on my next question, but I'll still ask it nevertheless. I know that's not doctors but strike. I remember Mbemba Nuju. I remember strike. I know the Doctor Ponada. It's just about money because ego. If we're talking just money, where's the passion? Where is the place of passion? Remember that na Ndi Igbo doctor. Dibia bo doctor. I want you to now clarify it. Why is this just about money for doctors? Where is the passion? Go ahead.
It's not just about money. Most strike doctors now, if you read their demand, it's also conditions of service. Conditions of service stipulates the tools. Then I was a spokesperson of striking doctors. I was strike for 4 months. Mbobi another governor. Part of it, steady power supply. No. That's part of our demand. Because I need surgery then. I will touchlight met up in Kefon. I surgery countless times na Amaku with touchlight. Maybe with Oko. In the process, I will lock your banketi. Of course, I'm going to know recurrent patterns and where charitable internet.
Alternative.
So that's part of the condition of service I need to work here. 2, the world a stinking place. But Amaku, if you go to SEC, it's a stinking place. Is it a good condition of service? The man no one some live freely because he's seen and nobody too much.
Yes.
Then a banyan at the call room of doctors, the same thing. Banyan at their clinic, the same thing. So poor condition of service always tops doctors' demand. Then I will say, what the commensurate salary when we can extract the highest level of productivity from the person. So it's not all about money, it's also about condition of service. Now, a politician, any appointment, MLA condition of service or them of newspaper allowance, furniture allowance, entertainment allowance, ebunyekwa motor ofo. When a Dr. Ndi Cko, I draw a born alolo. So these are the issues.
You know, some of these things that we actually complained about, people have created businesses out of this. Are you not seeing this thing from the angle of private practice and a privilege for them to thrive? Are you not seeing this as one of the opportunities for private practices to thrive?
And when misconception she address people which are doctors na teaching hospital
don't have their own.
They're happy. Patients teaching hospital now been at their private place. What are they happy about that? They don't like it. But igafu something like laparoscopy, for example.
Like
laparoscopy, like some sort of a keyhole camera surgery.
Yes.
One of my organ in a private hospital, yeah. So when you need that services, laparoscopic gynecological procedure, the teaching hospital area, man, a private person, so naturally,
traffic.
Or now I see the person, yeah. If you got the thing, so government cannot provide what he was able to provide in his private place, but condition of service includes providing these things. Government and neglect, yeah. So what are the car? Now I'm asking on Hana apology patient because no, that's not the case. The case is that government has refused to put these facilities. So individuals will now go and borrow loan to put these facilities to the extent of or the capacity they can be able to afford. And of course, if patients want these services and is not available in this teaching hospital, or even above not available now. About on that doctor na private setup got available. Or even the natural solution.
So amaya bail otibempu.
Of course, so Dr. G loan. The bank in double digit interest na loan which is about 28 or 30%. So I was the bank over.
Yes.
I bank over alien the poor staff you go full on the play. On walako. All of these economy. These are the issues.
Can you role policies in a play in these things? Because Africa criticize the CMD Amaku then of his policies and everything, and then the welfare. Can you roll some of our policies? And then do you think we have the right policies? And then what are the role policies can actually play to actually correct and improve the standard?
I think we are not deficient of policies when it comes to health system development. However, we are deficient of political will and political consciousness to understand that these policies need to be implemented. And with tons of health policies provided, but none of them is being implemented or effectively implemented to a standard that is to show impact on the lives of the people. Now, if we have politicians, opinion leaders, being able to itemize this is the policy and this is the funding for this policy, and they will hand it over to hospital leaders. Will be tied the same Bulego policy development and implementation governor earlier. The Tinabia, Omananga Konaga. So CMD and were much game.
Okay.
CMD Bobata. On any the deficit non system lolo. Draft I need the governor. Most times I had to go privy to the governor has taken a gadro with experience in buying a bus strike those days. Yeah, and I when a gadro. I want to go on a needy to get the things I need work with both condition of service and both the increment in salary. Olu 400 million. But the government seen a gadro. ozu ego ha ji ego moto eke the whole traditional rulers. Ego ha ji ego moto eke the whole appointees a na-enye moto. So governance, the ideals of governance are not sincere enough to implement the policy. We have the policies in place. It's populated everywhere. Just the political will to implement it. Because if they implement it, you see the policy trickle down and you see the effects of the policy.
Manifesto odogwu. Manifesto bụ n'odogwu nunu. Igbo mụrụ mmanwụ dịkwasị nwanne m. Ode njinji bụ mmanwụ oti mkpu. Izaga bụ mmanwụ mana enwere ode njinji nwanne m. Esteti adịkwasịkwa. Believe palivu jibulu okibe nwanne m palivu odogwu mmanwụ be m ndegwekwu udekuku deli nwanne m ndewe uchukwu. Manifesto Igbo mụrụ ma mmanwụ dịkwasịkwa. Oti mkpu bụ mmanwụ mana enwere ode njinji. Otu aka ọ dị na Pine Leaf Estate. Abịa na Estate, Pine Leaf nakwazi ndị ọzọ bụ ife enwere. Deje daalụnụ.
Does this contribute to the lack of standard hospitals in our cities and towns? Ọka agịta ịnọgịta onye chọọ ije ezigbo hospital now ọ sị gị nọ 1 or 2 because ọ jee somewhere else you see how enwere ike ije ewekpụba doctor nwee ike ọ bụ na ọ na-watch World Cup o wee sisi chele ya na ọ na-abịa an emergency situation. Does all these things now contribute to that na anyị nwere good ijegodo eje ị ga-agụta hospitals that will attend to you idigodi sure enweghị hospital bụ nọ nje mmadụ anwụ asị m nọ Uchechukwu no, does all these things affect it? Because nke a kịta abụ just a problem on its own as like medical professional. This is a problem on their own side. Go ahead.
Ọ bụrụ na government hospital, ka m kwuo from the government hospital perspective, enwe call room. Doctor na-anọ ọrụ 9 to 4 or 5. After that time, enwe doctor nọ on call. Enwe call room. Enwere ebe doctor a na-eje. Doctor nọ within the vicinity of the hospital. So, I believe no one ebutere na the hospital. Then we're a doctor on ground to serve it. I'll use myself as an experience of when I was in Amaku then. And I know in a week, one night in a call, he made up to 7 or 6 cesarean sections. Then because I'm an mother and they go a lot there. Now, for example, malaria in then was because Nanla Namotum. Do you know why? The call room is not conducive. Ọkụ adịrọ ma tupuru n'ime call room ọkụ adịrọ anwụ na-ata because anwụ na-ata na moto dị less than anwụ na-ata na call room. So iburu moto gị jee ofu ebe alụ slab na hospital paaki ebe a gbada ọcha gbada glass debe your call phone akpọọ gị jee because ọkụ adịrọ the place ị ga-alarụ as the call room the messed up. So I think ihe a na bad mouth to doctor si na anoria no gender. We go private hospital.
Okay.
You talk about private hospital. What set ya up? Mgbe ị bịala akpọ m bịa. Mana government setup, there is always a doctor on ground at all times, 24 hours.
I can relate to what you're saying. I lost my mom 2020, General Hospital, Onitsha. Kesi treat my mom. Abia edela anya ọgwụ. I got about my mom and I went to go to Obogo. If you know Onitsha very well, you know where General Hospital is at the DMS roundabout. Then you mark on Obogo the side, the head bridge. Imagine, and even medicine, it was about timing. So you just go to Obogo.
Why never know? You see that thing about policy. Part of policy correction in hospital management includes drug revolving fund. What is drug revolving fund? A particular bulk money government to get up for this health system, this hospital, na the necessary drugs they need here. Stock it up. Use ya. Patient pogodo ụgwọ. Na the government counterpart fund na ego nu wete from patient kwụ. Replace ya. So that way, among a shortage of those drugs in the stock in the pharmacy. But what we have is that the pharmacy doesn't even have it. So doctor get treat now. So doctor then go with gote. Okay, Jackie will treat you. Okay, medications. We treat you. So abu no no ogwe nwere kidi ga-eme ije gote ya. So kedu ya bụ fault ya? The politician now prioritize funding the healthcare very well. Because before you see na that policy work, na this kind of things you say. Abu na ihe amegi me ma governor, for example. I believe na governor can want reflection. Jụọ ka ebe mmiri si ebe opi ụgbọgụlụ. I solve all the problem. Mana because na ada I don't know na governor eje go do Amaku self je check BP ebe a na-ekwuzi.
Afọ ebe a ka ibuga papa governor anyị before nwụọ. Ma amawada me Ediawe.
Ebe a ka ebugara ya.
Yes.
Okay. Let's look at it this way. The deficiencies, the management of the governor's father, deficiencies experienced during the care, how has he tried to address and fix those deficiencies? Being a first-hand experience of one MP there. Go and check. Oje de go KBP nyede. Amili obala check ya. Ono kata ebe a wele ọkụ ọjọọ why ọkụ abịara asa na diesel abụgo na eji gbata diesel. These are the things.
First hand. Ofia first hand.
Ije de go Amaku na emergency. Mmadụ eju everywhere nwere ebe a ga-anọ. Imana mmadụ nwee heart attack. Eba now. So Chukwu ga-azọ onye. Only God will save that person because the next person si bili Baba Amaku, ilu Amaku gịnị ga-eme ede. Enwe defibrillator a ga-eji wee restart the heart. Ọ dịrị ya. ECG dị ebe a ọ na-alụ ọlụ ọfụma. Ndị na-ebe ahụ amụ use ya amụ read ya. 2. Asịkwanụ na onwe heart attack na enwe dị ka reopen all the heart ka blood flow be again na ga-eje ebe a na-akpọ cath lab. Enwere ya there? No, ọ ga-efu no. The government nọ na-eme nnọọ mkpọtụ. Create a system where people can go and die. Even them can be a victim of that as well because ejego one them mgbe obi anọ na-achị. Mgbe anyị na-eme a na-akpọ ganigani abatiti wee si SSG then. No, kima ihe ahụ na-agbagharị na enwe onye nwe heart attack n'ime unu na ọnọkwọ gọna before that chopper abịa buru njebe Abuja ma Lagos onye anagụkwa. Why don't you fix this hospital nọ gị nso ka ọnwụ ihe ọbụla ọ kwesịrị inwe ọ ya bụ ọnwụ ihe mee gị ka edebegodi ebe a na-ebigodi gị aka ọ ya bụ chopper abịaza ka o buru gị in a stable condition emegide Lagos trauma center. Ụlọọgwụ abụrụ structure, ụlọọgwụ bụ equipment and the people na-alụ n'ime ya.
And I said I went mortuaries in the guise of hospitals because just like you said, we
mortuary.
We go and die.
I went a system where doctors and nurses are blame are severely improvising themselves to make it work. For example, ije n'ụlọ ọgwụ achọ ike gị ọbara ọkwa glove ka na-eke gị glove n'aka.
Or that Robertson.
Eke gị ya abụrụ ya kwesịrị ike gị n'aka na enwere dị na na-akpọ tourniquet. Ime ya n'obodo oyibo ijezagodo ugwere why eji wee ke glove n'aka because enwe tourniquet. So as little as that. So because n'ọdịrọ doctor ma nurse bi emili ọbara o welu glove kee gị n'aka wee melu gị ọbara. So that is the people in the health system improvising a lot to be able to keep the wheel turning. Ọrụ mụ agwa gị na emekọtago m surgery ewele ọkụ. Ọkwa continue the surgery with touchlight. A na-eti mkpu part of condition of service sinye anyị dedicated NEPA line na Amaku ka a kwụsị ịwa ọkụ ka a na-adịgodo ashọ of 20 hours light. Ọ bụrụ story. So all these things ndị na-alụkwu nọ na hospital si na-aja ha ike na ha na-anwakwanụ.
Okay.
Ha na-anwa.
Why we're blaming the government? Let's also not forget the role human beings will play. And I got new news of a young girl that died in Abuja because there was no snake venom antidote in any of those hospitals. Or government we hear mekunka. Or a doctor will not make such basic venom antidote available, or government game.
Or doctor, venom anti-venom this thing available. No, government hospital where pharmacy division that should have all these things available. Mm-hmm. So when the need for it arises, doctor will say, "Get me this." You give him. But when it's not available, can you get me? Organic family will have medicine. So if you get it in. So when what you need to work is not available, and we're limited to what you can improvise, you cannot improvise antivenom. So if the hospital does not have antivenom, what do you do?
Who do we blame in this type of practice? You know, Ejegomu Hospital, for my sister Molonwa. I find out that Nandi midwife, na anakunwa ego ejani anwa. Say nyege wetege when I get 5,000, 10,000 na get. I say patient yan with a tissue, big tissue, with a big jig, with a big detergent. You know, these things are ill practices that are happening in government hospitals and other hospitals. Who do we blame for this? Or government? I
won't go on first-hand experience this one. Let me tell you what happens. One be mwa. When you get among so you go again eba na mwa. I ga-afu and then Macintosh, okay? And then a lot of materials and a J feature, and all those things.
Dabbing and everything.
Can one yours away bia? Because I make a cleaner guy no. Bocha one yours there where bia. Fine. In a system where the hospital and what a provision to provide these things so that all when need to provide that
so patients will now all patients be in euthanasia.
No. Amaku now.
It means that you are transferring aggression to us.
Amaku now, for example.
Yes.
The hospital management gas going to hang with adequate funding.
Mm-hmm.
So that inadequate funding will make them such jiggy tissue, materials and all those things would not be catered for. There won't be a store to continually supply it for the midwives to use. And midwife has to clean up before the next woman comes in. So there is no provision from the hospital store or hospital usables on this item. It's a wrong practice.
After billing the person.
It's a wrong practice. Now look at how we correct it. Obuluna government fund by the hospital. About fund the bank fund or follow the money up. Make sure ATL kwesi itinye. You see, kedego nke kwesi ga na consumables during delivery process. And where consumable room for delivery process. Or they were well funded. Tissue akogo, hospital supplier kwea. Jig akogo, hospital supplier. So why ni biazia? Onidre with a 1 naira or with any material because hospital is well funded by government to provide these usables and consumables.
How do we even come halfway with government? How do we even, I have to go our reality. How do we even help? Because, I've heard the statement that government will not do everything. When somebody like you now will tell me that is a lie from where you're coming from. Government should be able to do everything.
Yes. Yeah. Let me tell you how we come in. How we come in is by paying our tax.
Okay.
Equal tax. Equal to the government. And where's the house equal?
Right?
No, but those yeah. For example, when no UK tax na kumbo na afọ ebe a get mkpu. But the problem bụ na unwe ike 1 year using them health facility. So, you got the idea. That's humongous amount na akwụ every month na tax. Adị use here. So, when those use here. So, it's like a pot where everybody is contributing money to make sure that these services is running. All the allogi use all the allogi and one other allogi use here. Now, about equal tax alone, and our manage ofuma, and our budget is enough for health. Look at all these developed countries. Chunk of their budget goes to social security health. In 2001, Abuja Declaration on Health, where all the African countries came together and they declared that all the African countries must budget 15% of their national budget on health and social security.
Mm-hmm.
So Obon is in the country not 10 trillion for but for the whole budget. Out of that 10 trillion, 15% of it should go to health alone. Now, they trickled it down to states. Let me tell you, Nigeria government has never budgeted 15% of budget to health. Even down to state. Anambra State budget on health in 2024 on GOP changing the gear 1.0 was 9.9%. For the following year, 11%. The current year, 13%. I na-emulate African, Dubai, Taiwan, Singapore.
Can you go back at criminal doctors? And there's some of these practitioners that they could push money to them and they will not make these things available. I am a Ministry of Health. I am where people that receive this budget. What is their role in this thing? And then what is their place? And they know these funds will actually make available. They kept it to themselves and to their families.
If you hear na oburo ime policy,
follow up.
You release ego, you follow the money. It will catch a health system or health institution leader. Wele ege ka we mee something tinye na akpa. Mgbe ka EFCC ga n'ọdụ now. Mgbe ka enwe whistleblowing policy. Because take for example, now Anambra State government provides enough money and funding for Amaku to the 100%, for example. So ordinarily, nwaanyị je ịmụ nwa na Amaku ekwesịrị iweta jik na ụmụ ya ndị a. Ewesi aweti ya. Imago na ọma na ọ na-akwụ tax ya. And government efugo na enyego Amaku 100% of ihe ha need to function. So you were right to call on the government that iwetakwa jik nka and then akwụ tax. Why are you being billed twice? The effectiveness of governance of a financial vigilant system is to go to Amaku and say, where is the store for consumables for this unit? You go say the store, what they had there. Now I was saying, need. So why is this not available? Or call ya. It will be ozugbo. Onye ọzọ bịa replace ya ọmala ebe onye predecessor ya.
For the trajectory ozugbo.
Or comply ya.
In a good trauma center, Akola in Anambra State, it's not just that the building abroad the main thing. In a good that is not that nobody had.
Part of my my postings, rotations when especially training in the UK was in a trauma center. So I'm a Mihebo trauma center. Onwe things see our body in place, body place trauma center.
Not just the building.
Here. But a beautiful complex that does not. If we are trauma center, but abuse of the word trauma center. Now, Imogo, I know I want to before I want to see. So I commend the Governor Kameleo. Mana na go kwia. Edegom list of what should be in that place to make it a trauma center. Because that place not in a vantage position, not on express. People can easily access and locate and all that. So, for you to answer trauma center, really, you have to look at the equipping of the place. Okay, seeing where the latest standard MRI.
The latest.
Okay, seeing where very active cath lab. When heart attack, everybody in a cath lab was the heart attack. When stroke, everybody there analyze that the stroke immediately. Stroke lysis. More than stroke. Part of your nebu amaro. Hey, you don't go do. Fabian Millie, Kubia Akupe, or for the name as a content. Bazu when you click on another in Kebiku. A met nowhere about neuron is time. You have na brain. Time call for. It might recover again. So in stroke, especially stroke in Kebu, ischemic stroke, where there is a blood clot blocking the artery. The person can recover full function of his abilities. What is that in Ikwesime? Ibujie on time.
Time is factor.
4.5 hours to stroke lysis. And may hear the clot. Obale flow be. Aka iPhone or that meme. Or may with physiotherapy and all that. Man, a question when it a trauma center. Only one stroke, ibujie there is nothing. There's no stroke lysis suit. On when heart attack, ibujie there is no cath lab. On where multiple injured patients, enwero a catastrophic suit to treat for that. Not just enwero all these things, enwero personnel that they can effectively pay to retain their services and intellectual intellectual abilities to help run this place. So kedina akpọli trauma center. Annex of cohorts. Can we more space, maybe for bed and those here.
That is extension.
Extension.
Nedi Odama extension. Because that's gonna more there na gat obamu. So mana enwetesha some of these things that if you get
Ntoyan.
Akwya?
Ntoya one by one. Ntoya. Mana inweta ihe ni na ngwa gị o need ezigbo ego.
Obro 1 naira.
Ihe abụrụ budget 1 billion. Or budget 895 million. Eji wee ya. No, ichi equip these things, eh? Ị ga-achọ ezigbo MRI. Ọ ga na-achụ billions. Together with cath lab, stroke lysis suit.
And people to man the
latest some of
equipment.
Digital X-ray. All these things has to be in place. Because trauma means ihe ọ bụla a ga-eme ọsịsọ. And ekwesịrị solve ya there. Ekwesịrị isi na enwe ebe ọzọ a na-eje. And not just this equipment. Ekwesịrị inweta an interventional cardiologist. Ịmakwa ego na ị ga-eji wee debe interventional cardiologist there ka o focus on that place. Ị ga-akwụ ezigbo ụgwọ. Ọ bụrụ na Martin a na-akwụ. Ị ga-enweta interventional neurologist, neurosurgeon. Ọ gbara ndị a na-eme operation na the brain, ka eme operation na the brain. Mgbe ị ga-eji ekpatacha ndị a niile, ịpịarịa gọọmenti na calculator ego na ga-eji wee retain these personalities in this place. Ifu na ha nwere interest na health.
Agbagodi break na ụzọ a na-alụgodi first.
Gịnị bụ ụzọ? Ejuze ego to gọọmenti.
Egwusikwana?
Onye ejuze to gọọmenti afọ bụ ụzọ na.
Now this dualized road, we are in a dualized road. Also. So, bro, we're just
government ekwesịrị na-announce ụzọ as part of ihe mee. Government na-announce ụzọ as part of ihe mee means na nwere ihe mee. Because all natural thing. If you ka ndị ọcha sị gị na ha lụọ ụzọ. Ịnụ ka UK gọọmenti sị ga-eji wee lụọ ụzọ. Check ya. Ịchọ ifu ebe ha na-etinye ego. A sị gị na this AI too. Government has funded it to provide this and this. I say again, this health facility, government has provided to cover for this one. I say again, this social security funding and scheme has been provided to sort for this and that. If you look at our cause, like I told you in the first, nobody efobe, imam he deserve. So nobody enyegi, iwalo.
Now, not share wickedness from our leaders, just chafucha those things. But they can't bring it to us because they've seen.
Our leaders, had eje na that hospital, na the state ebe ha na govern, eje weta their health. So ọ bụrụ na ịma nlinwu from the plate isi enye ndị mmadụ. What are you talking about?
Why are you serving them from that same plate? Man, if we stay in this topic, I am Anana here because there's a lot to even discuss. But I will allow you at least. I like the fact that we're talking about medicine. Let's talk about health itself. Now, keep as if or a pandemic of a kidney issue, a pandemic of epidemic. Man, I know something medical in there. Can feeling a doctor calling care, doctor of the future calling care. Everybody wants to talk, the kidney issues now and the health problems are anywhere. That Nigeria is a crime scene. Can he feed in about some of these health issues that is everywhere now? Go ahead.
Part of the problem, the kidney issues, and lack of health education and awareness on how to live right for your organs to function well. For example, African here, Amaku doctor and other things, most of them are true if you practice it. Currently, the issue of rising incidence in kidney issues anywhere in this country is as a result of wrong practices, especially and drug abuse on the high side. And all these drugs, as you take them, only one place can milli get up from the urinary system or na kidney go nesiaga. So you have eating here. Na kidney for the kidney to flush it. So sometimes ibunye kidney a lot of ibualo. One day will fail, and they want a kind job on a kidney fail, mama. Until this so bad, whenever they get signs and symptoms. Some people can function with one kidney, they won't know. That's why I want them to always go for annual physical. That annual physical, doctor you a comprehensive health check from beginning to the end. It is there, and what he had that girl from your body organs and systems, including your kidney, on time, like ML kidney function. Upon na EGFR, your glomerular filtration rate, I don't know, man. Doctor, I say, that will evoke the next question. Why is your kidney function test abnormal? Why is your creatinine high? Why is your urea high? Why is your EGFR low? It will evoke another question from the doctor to investigate to know why. It will be in terms of more history taken. It will be in terms of more investigative tests to know why. Because people, when you can wear diabetes, attack kidney, people, when you can wear hypertension, attack kidney, so it is inculcating the habit of once in a year, a run or full check. Malo, what is wrong with you? I fear noge. Chubia. In angu moiha na angu. You're going to be highly prone to coming down with these things. So these are the issue.
Because na keep as well. So in a field, lifestyle plays a very major role.
Lifestyle plays a very major role. Then sometimes on the genetic. And where some genetic
that's
problems,
the angle that people don't really visit.
And where some polycystic kidney diseases that are genetic. So but people are marrow because
genetic ordinable.
Like this prostrate, for example, too. As in okay, you're not studying nage. A man and nage will prostrate. Nage will prostrate. You will like an abako. In our own annual physical. Obuni you go 40 or 50 and above. A cornelia PSA. Key will check why you're prostrate naga.
PSA beginning.
Prostrate specific antigen test.
Okay.
AJ check prostrate. Man, all these things will sign and symptoms. Man, sign and symptoms are na put when all the go late. So man, prevention is better than cure. So each of them get treated when no get problem. When opening were bad and unsafe health practices that predisposes to this problem in a manya. Mkpụrụ mmiri na-ese ụmụ ihe a na-ese Igbo ma whatever it is you're putting into your system. Even ọ bụrụ na ị na-aṅụdu mmiri ọfụma, you're also threatening your kidney. Enwere ndị na-aṅụ up to 1 liter of water every day. As an adult, you consider na-aṅụ at least 2 liters of water every day. Some people say 2 to 2.5 liters every day.
Minimum.
So ị na-aṅụ insufficient water intake. What you're trying to do is that you're leaving your kidney to form crystals, homocalically particles, I join all together, or form a kidney stone. On my kidney stone were the very, very funny. Oh, we can present it to you as waist pain. You see, no kidney stone again. Or we can present it classically at loin pain. The pain. The question, Bona. In where that pain, you just can't miss your when all the pain without him cause the pain. So it becomes a vicious cycle where you have a symptom of a kidney problem that is giving you the pain as a result of either kidney stone. You are taking another medication mixed by a chemist to address the pain, and those medications are also affecting the kidney. You now call it the kidney. Even he fix the pain. Now cause one problem to the kidney. One day. Oh yeah.
Dalo. Let's talk about governance. Because I need politically sagacious. Maka governance. Kedo, how do you rate governance in this country, and then narrowing it down to Anambra State, the fidelity in governance, and how they go about their dealings? Can know your opinion first of all.
I like the word fidelity in governance. We don't have fidelity in governance when it comes here. Governance, our governance ideal has a lot of gaps to be met, starting from federal down to the state and to the local government. I'll be fair. The federal government is doing their best.
Federal, okay.
Because if I look at what they are doing in the Federal Ministry of Health, for example, they are building 6 geopolitical zones and then cancer referral centers. Very good ones, Sanalo. You know, that kind of thing. You now trickle it to that same budget of 15% is not even enough from federal. You move down to the state level. There is still no fidelity in governance.
Yes.
When it comes to what they are doing. Because if you go to their manifesto, see what they promise. For example, Agenda Manifesto, Governor Soludo, page 34 to 38. Everything on there is on health. I kid you, most of the things in there, he has not done any of them. So, I doubt I just what the manifesto, I check it 34 to 38. Check here, there, no media.
Yes.
So, when you say something and you don't do what you say, it's not just only in health, even in politics. Recently, I know it's not governance kidnap, yeah?
Yes.
Recently, Okwasila na no mwanye na lose no gili. Biye gekwu onye ga-abụ candidate. Hi, onye ọbụla the church are very happy with that. Gata say your popularity in the field of, yeah?
Yes.
And so badra. Election n'elu 24 hours to the mgbe mwanya na election n'ogili. They very happy because they receive go candidates. Emechala ha campaign.
Anụcha what they have to offer.
Ha na-amị mma ha onye a ga-apịawa azụ na onye ama na-apịawa azụ. Na onye a ga-asị na ọ eje ma onye ama nje. Eluze Friday asị ha na ama nzọzi ya. Na gọvanọ si na gọvanọ emego m otu apala dị na emego obele meeting. Sizi ya na onye a ga-eje.
Consensus.
So how do you expect those women to feel when they come out on that Saturday? That is, you've broken their trust. There is no fidelity in governance. There's no fidelity in politics. Because if you had allowed your words to get to the termination point of the field, let those who determine their candidate. They will even rate you more. But when you insert your hand in the process of the will to abort it somewhere, peace talk. So, in terms of politics, there is no fidelity in politics and political promises from their manifesto to what they say in government they will do. And the funny thing is, in Yakwano government, the critical feedback that is constructive, devoid of insults, they will come at you with insults. We've created a psychophancy, I call it a psychophancy college, where young people are the cheerleaders of this psychophancy college. They ring-fence the leader and prevent anybody from criticizing the leader, believing that the leader be. No! We are doing the leader a favor by helping him to see his blind spots, so that in his self-reflective moment, he will take action. But trying to douse the voice of those that are able enough to tell you your blind spot, it shows that your leadership has a lot of gaps.
Loopholes.
So that is part of the problem we find in our governance, and where we praise little and overblow it as if it is something.
It's election season again. Dear esteemed political candidates, are you aware that a good media visibility and advert can help boost your chances of winning? What are you waiting for? BAM Interview is offering you this campaign space to tell Ndi why they should vote for you. Contact us today with the numbers on your screen.
afụgokwa n'ụzọ.
So
Imanji, like I tell you, road for people will tell you, but they will use roads to open up places, this and that before. Uncle, won't you open it? Are you not going there to collect taxes from them?
is that not why we gave you our mandate?
So why are you telling them that you need to go her road? I don't want to go to the quality of road before I snap my door.
What will it guy? No image like bam. I know that bam. This opposition, was it what motivated your post? Your one of your posts reads, Apuga conducted the worst primary election in Anambra State. They don't even have the challenge of nationwide spread. They deny their members joy of voting who becomes candidates.
You see, if we let's even say, Anachi has the local government administration system in Anambra State. Primary health centers are supposed to be funded effectively by local government. But most of these mayors, I don't know what they are doing. Maybe because we don't have an accountability system to track what they are doing. I've written about my own local government back to back. If one day Gabia do to Gabia Segi, on open one negoro on about the boon. Why can't I tell him because last time I came back in February, I went to 5 primary health centers myself because I sent my foundation manager because I want to give back, but I need to understand their needs. So you give effectively. Is my manager go to social and social primary health center? I believe you never can to vote and not in my house. Go to that primary health center in my village. Check their needs. Let me put it in my charity budget for the year and see what I can do. When he went there, the person in charge said he has to go and meet one health supervisor
Protocol.
to give authority for me to come in and help. Luckily enough, that package died off. I raised it up with the current Ansaka MD, Mbobu health supervisor. See, jokingly, Abuja. Say, I look at the Yanchi and also, no, please, I have to come again. Father, he's going to lead it. I said, okay. We found out. That was when I visited the whole 5, and the place was a mess. And I found out that government budgets for only one health center, were 1 ward. So other communities in which are 1 ward, the whole government only budgets for 1 health center there. So why are you using political calibration to budget for a primary health center? Why can't you trickle the funds out? The same health center are saying elsewhere they their vaccine. You see, the place is a total mess. So our governance, both in their political conversations and promises, they don't meet it. In the policy implementation and funding, they don't meet it. In allowing people to give them feedback so that they see their blind spots, you become an opposition. How can I be an opposition to Governor Soludo, for example? Somebody I donated heavily into his first time of being a governor, mobilized the diaspora for him. Even came back strictly to vote for him, not for anything else. But I promise one thing, that when he wins that election, I will metamorphose to a different kind of supporter. I will be that supporter that constantly tells you things you wouldn't like, or the people around you won't like. I'll be that supporter that will tell you your blind spot. I promised it to him. So today is what I promised I will do.
To his face, you told him to his face.
I convinced people to vote. So most people now ask him, Ojuku, of Ogun say I will all vote for this guy because of you. You say, yes. That's why I'm doing my job, to help him see. And I will give it to him. There are some things I have said in health that he's done. About 80% of them. For example.
Oh, nice.
When the Amaku strike, or warning strike, because of their residency training fund, and improving their hazard allowance, because nationally it has been improved, and their commerce, updated commerce, they always meet me because they had the gospel can they preach, is it? I say, okay, I'll look into it and talk about it. After like few weeks, the governor's aide sent the a memo, the government has approved this. I say, yes, they've approved it. So, oh, thank God. I see went back in the public domain to thank the governor. 2023, June. Is it 2022? Either 2023 June. I came back. One of my friends, Dr. Ezike, we all worked in Amaku. I buy in Amaku. More than transfer. Ezike G cash. All we were doing was moving around the hospital, greeting Ndi Anambra before, landing over there before, just to see how things are. Imogon, of course, they go happy. More abroad cash, not transfer. So Ezike was doing the cash, I was doing transfer, and we spent heavy amount of money. And I was like, this is not enough. That place needs CRGC. And I captioned that right up. Amaku is smelling. The gate is about the Amaku, for example, and we a lot of gully there that no one if you research that post, no one partial fracture. Na moto buega for that gully. Now the fracture got complete by that gallop. So that was the things I coined in that write-up. And say, Governor, please, now I'm adding Sean by this place. JKBP before. One day, Jekenebe say have a good comprehensive test as a governor. Give for the things that are not working in this system and improve it. Upon the person in charge of that place and we go law of diminishing return of ideas on how to transform this place. You change him. Luckily, that post was maybe the governor saw it. After a few weeks or months, I saw that they've approved 1 billion to renovate or revamp Amaku. That they have approved 900 something million to build trauma center. I still went to commend him for doing that. As in the Koran, we're not. So, of course, I won't relent. We have to always look at the gains that have been made and talk about that. Encourage the government so that they will do more. I thank them for the trauma center. Now, that trauma center needs equipment. So they should rightly equip it and rightly staff it and pay the staffs the current. For example, in Denmark, one of the things that I got then, the government in that pension. You say how manage. So, and I retire, what a hope of pension or gratuity. Why? It dates back to Obiano's era. That now government had there with their counterpart fund. So, according to them, the current government say, okay, stop, let me look into this. 4 years ago, we are still looking into that. There was a time they one post to gaff, everybody was running helter-skelter one Sunday morning. My commissioner, all these social advisors, because of the oxygen plant.
Yes.
Everyone not one from somewhere. Simple. I have a friend that works in the hospital. Somebody died in their ward. Reporting to me that because they want oxygen. We need the oxygen. Coincidentally, that same morning, somebody that works in the emergency told me the same thing as somebody.
Give up.
Because of oxygen. I said, I can't do oxygen, but then oxygen plant na cocoon. I said, no. I should go my fibers and say, put the oxygen as Ebony or something like that. So how can you go there to bring oxygen when there's oxygen here? That day, maybe to disprove me, he would dramatize maybe video. I'm more gas, more air carbon channel. Na the okay, where disprove CKO ni hode. But meanwhile, you know the thing name on that oxygen center. Ibanaka. So I were a lot of gaps. And the people like us, is a calling. I've seen it as a calling.
It is actually.
Because and what again?
Yes, it is actually.
I can decide to make
call and passion.
One of my friends in the corner room. One question, Hannah Gabaju. In Nigeria. Just forget these people. No go economy forget what happens in Nigeria. But I don't find fulfillment as a person not talking about it.
Yes.
So the little I've done has shown some scalable impact. I want to go to a city here. The doctor say go. The to where renovate Amaku, Law Trauma Center. Oh, a little. So if we keep on talking, and when more people maybe we can make more. But the funny thing is that every youth in Anambra State wants to be shouting, solution is there. They've not seen, because if they've seen the real solution, they will know that they are getting peanuts in the name of an iced cake.
Are you saying that solution is not here?
Ọkwa office road njibe ya nke gị akụm isi na glass mgbe a na-abịa using solution.
A whole BAM studio.
Ụzọ nsi
A whole Young Factory.
So the solution has not reached to your road.
Okay. Anambra is rising. Oh yeah, Anambra has risen. Oh, it's rising. It is still a continuous. I don't know 2027. As in election of 2027 is coming in, and then after we are politically interested and everything. Let's narrow it down to Idemili first of all. ABC Idemili North and South. Can phone media? What happened there? Primarily, that is primary elections. What you have to say about what is happening there politically? I am some giants as a ha not go nakoko konyaje or not go there back. What do you have to say of what's happening in Idemili North and South, where we are covered?
I've never experienced heartbreak before, but that incident, all the go to mecham oyi, this mega experience heartbreak.
Which incident?
You gave us hope. You promised us everybody is going to the field. You told us that it is those women that sell akara bread and
that will decide.
We went and campaigned all the wards, spent resources, huge resources. People donated into causes that they believed in, huge resources to tell people that this is the plan of this person. The other person will come the next day, this is my plan. So it is a good-spirited context of ideas and conversations. So it's left for the voters of the party to come on Saturday to decide. And on Friday, you assembled a few people in your personal space to make a decision to disenfranchise those party members that had received those aspirants during their campaign. So what do you have to say about it? It's heartbreaking because it's like a place, Madongo, Nidemili. So that's that lack of fidelity. Equal something. That's how leaders are made.
Are you saying that Ifeanyi Ibezi Ochiaya stood a better chance than Ike Kubana?
It's not about chance. It's about doing what is right, what you promised. It's not about chance. Because if Ifeanyi went there and the people vote against him, that's fine. He goes home. If Ike Kubana goes there and they vote against him, that's fine. But the point is that
level playing ground. There
was no level playing ground. So how do you bring, I call that ticket of injustice. So Ike Kubana is the ticket of injustice. Injustice meted on the electorates of the party that are motivated, very, very enthusiastic to come and vote. And at the peak of time, they were disenfranchised and their expectations and hope of deciding who will be their candidate cut short. And if you look at the political equation of Idemili as Idemili North and South, since 1998 till the next election is going to be 28 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Idemili South has gone 18 years. Idemili North, by the time Uche Okonkwo completes his tenure, Idemili North has gone 10 years. So, ordinarily, because people think because Ifeanyi Ibezi is my friend, and no, ordinarily, let's look at it on face value. My brother has gone 18, I've gone 10. Who is supposed to go next?
Nigga got 10.
Fine.
Then nigga go 10.
So allow us level playing ground to determine if the odds will favor us to go. You didn't allow us to have level playing ground. You gave it to somebody that they've done 18 years to go and do another 4 years to make it how much? So they will now be 22 years while we are still at 10. Fine. Let's look at it that way. Let's look at capacity.
Capacity. If you can tell.
We talk about what have you done, not what you will do.
Track records.
What Ifeanyi has done is not questionable, because if you track back to when he was there 5 months, he showed real effective representation. On a seaport and a quote here today, he was the one, that was his first bill in the Green Chambers, that they need to decongest Apapa Seaport so that One will serve people in the east. So they stopped traveling that distance. He met a lot of political counters on the floor. He navigated and the bill scaled through. Buhari signed it into law. And they started operations in that One Seaport at that capacity. Maybe the tribunal came and they removed him.
They're not ousted.
So he has an unfinished business to go and finish there. So you see, that protest is not just about the Demel, it's about the whole collective South Eastern people. So we talk about what have you done. Now let's juxtapose it with the other person. You see, politics, it's all about interest, not all about try ya work na get vibes on vibes. They were here because no na governor na Anambra. Onye atunu be vote na Idemmili because na odds favor go na ha align go with governor ochi wale ticket.
Ke mini na atunu be vote inesi ya agale mana atu vote.
Mgbe Soludo evidence. Mgbe Soludo na actually is our governor first time during his first tenure. I came back for that election.
Yes, you said you
and did. On the evening before the election, I went on Instagram. Their group was vibing. I think they were celebrating something in Abuja. And what I asked myself, and I think I dropped it in that comment section, was, are these guys not from Anambra State? They live just in Abuja here. Why can't they come back and vote in their state that are having election tomorrow? Why me, nobody like me, will come down and vote? Then somebody like you will not come and vote. So that is enough. Let them provide evidence of voting on the first time of Governor Soludo. I will support him. So people will tell you, is it because whenever there's somebody goes into politics, no, we have to look at what you have done as a person, not as collective association.
Because you are
as
trying
a
to
person,
represent a
because
people.
the ticket will bear your name, not your group or not your business group. It will bear your name. I have a business group, corporate business group that I chair. Whatever I'm doing it as a person, not as a group. So if we look at all these things, that's the capacity. That is what is left for those disenfranchised Idemmili voters to choose 18 versus 10 years. Somebody that has gone before with unfinished business. Somebody that just decided to become politically aware overnight because of chances of proximity to the governor. These are the issues in Idemmili politics.
Can this that you call ticket of injustice, do you think it can play out in the general election? People will now, given that our people are very emotional too, do you think it could play out in the general election? Knowing, I don't know, ticket in the ADC, Piawalo Harris as another strong person. Do you think it could play out to even affect Apaga as a party and then their candidate may not emerge winner?
Perhaps it could, ordinarily, because people are still angry about it. People are still waiting for their
pound of flesh.
Pound of flesh. But for me, I'm a bit indifferent.
Right?
I don't really care again about the whole thing. I'm just gonna, come there, vote whoever I want and go. Because let the people decide. But the problem is that the people are hungry. So because they've kept the masses down with poverty and hunger, that is the weapon fashioned against the masses and the electorates. The electorates, that weapon fashioned against them, they will dangle that cash before them and buy them. So if you hear them, I want to see it.
They're talking
the
about
meaning of that they have stashed a lot of funding to use to manipulate the process.
Error. We have a long way to go. I could see polling unit. But why don't this buying thing? why doesn't it happen whenever P2B is on the ballot? Because this it happens when you witnessed the last election, and I know that you are somebody that talks in good of P2B. Why doesn't it happen when P2B is on the ballot? See what Labour did in the last election. It was Labour that brought in Harris in that year. It didn't mean that Apuga did not win. Why? And we know that P2B didn't share anything. Why does it not happen during that time?
The wave could happen again.
Could it?
Based on how the person, I don't even know the person with the tickets of NDC. I don't know the person. But the wave would happen again if he does his political homework well. Not relying on P2B. One. Like me, somebody like me, I don't know him.
And you're a stakeholder, but you're right.
So these are the issues. So the wave could happen again. Then why does it not happen during P2B time? P2B is running against Tinubu. So if you present something to them, one, they will still collect your money and vote by virtue of our brother.
Conscience.
They will vote on the basis of our brother. So we'll vote on the basis of this person has been there. We're still having hardship. He promised us if there is no 24 hours light, I will resign, I will not run again. He says, so these are things that would also play. Now, why it doesn't play like that in all this House of Reps and Senate is that the people will demand you to show capacity of what you have done. So, in that showing capacity of what you have done, the wave will rub you off.
So if you're solely depending on the wave, because there are places that Labour didn't actually win, even with the whole wave. I must give it to this guy, he's actually in the State House. Ndi Anambra.
Okay. He's done quite well.
Yes, when that Labour was doing, I didn't know him before, but that time I saw him at Ekoka, he was campaigning like a mad person.
That's not how it should be.
And then with that Labour. So now, even with the wave, you have to do your homework.
If you don't do your homework,
that some people want...
it won't count for you.
Mande Okada, Mande Lofusi, na how about ticket? I don't get that's not your win.
So for the election, the dynamics are not quite going to be exactly the same way with the last
one.
Everybody has to put in their homework,
and people are now waiting for that wave.
Even the person they dashed the ticket, he also has to put his homework.
Yes.
The person that is waiting for wave, he also has to put his homework.
Yes.
So the person that they dashed the ticket has to convince and appease the people that has been disenfranchised to not to vote. So see reasons with him if they want to see reasons with him. The person waiting for wave has to come and tell us things beyond the wave. To see reasons with him, I'm just a nobody. I will just come and cast my vote. There's nothing.
Can I be follow when it comes to senatorial district?
To be honest, people will be biased because Itume has been following P2B around and all that. On that angle, but the point is that I've not really felt the lawmaking impact of Senator Ume. I see senators that are gingering on the floor. I've not seen my senator ginger enough on the floor to my satisfaction. Maybe he's done it and he's not populating it because
that's Anambra Central, right?
Yeah. I believe if you have it, you show it. If you don't show it, that means you don't have it now. So I don't even know the opponents. Okay, so I don't have any favoritism. Let the scale swing either way to whoever they want to go with. But the point is that the current senator has not shown enough legislative
prowess
impact to make me stick out my neck and say, I like this guy. I'm going to vote for this guy.
Does it look like he's just trying to jump on the wave too? Because whenever you see P2B, you see him and people say it is loyalty.
That's why I said some people would say that he's, there are some places Peter will go. He will need somebody to look out for his back. So he might be playing that role, which is also,
bodyguard.
No. Look out for his back means there are some political conversations that you need to check something with somebody.
Okay.
So I can go into a political meeting with people that are from a different or strange political perspective. And having been closely with Victor over the years, they have political understanding. So they can reason things.
P2B and Victor,
yeah, they can reason things quickly. So it can be some sort of service to the catchment electorates of P2B to say, because you've been following this guy around, helping him, okay, that's a sentimental vote. But the point is, I won't vote based on sentimental votes. If I'm voting, I'll vote based on what law, what bill. Like I told you what Ifeanyi did in 5 months. He moved a bill that saw on a seaport. The president signed it and reopened it. So I want to see the bill that he has moved to the conclusion and the government signed into law and is having impact on the lives of not just Anambra Central, but the whole country. That's what legislative business is about.
When you mention political understanding between Victor and P2B, I remember when our brother Kenneth Okonkwo made reference to him that P2B is suffering from the curse that Victor laid on him, that he will not amount to anything outside Apuga. It's like, my name, politics is about interest. We disagree to agree. There's a point where we disagree. There's a point where we agree.
That's why we are human beings.
Yes.
That's why we are dynamic. This Kenneth Okonkwo that is singing all along this thing. The man, if you watch him closely, he's talking from deeply seated promise and fail situation, or I think something. He's very vexatious of something. So I don't know what he's angry, or, what he couldn't get. Some people will say they promised him a house, they gave him a flat and all those kind of things. So all these things, I don't know what is the problem, but he needs to sometimes put a mirror while he's talking. He'll be watching himself in the mirror.
Right?
I think that would be a good reflection for him.
1993, he lived in bondage. Do you think he's still out of this bondage?
In the current political situation, I think he's in bondage. Do you know why? He started with criticizing. It was an APC. Oh, APC is this, APC is that, APC is this. Criticizing Tinubu. You jump into Labour. You had problem with Abure and co. You were lambasting everybody. Slightly lambasting P2B for not doing what he's supposed to do. By the way, I'm not really happy that P2B could not resolve the issues in Labour Party, because I believe as a leader, you should be able to sort out the issues in your party. Bring everybody in one room. If you want to shit and piss, go to the toilet. We're not living here until we resolve this matter. If you don't solve it, we're not going out. There has to be a give or take. And let us come out here. I can't allow somebody to come into my home, destabilize it, buy off some of the people I work with, and make me to leave and go somewhere else. But that's a story for another day. So Kenneth now left and joined ADC, jumped on the article. I think he carried the people that traditional dance people. They went to Article to dance for Article.
He's very good. He's a very good.
After dancing for Article and all that, P2B decided to make his political choice of moving to a new party because he believed that there's a lot of litigation in the current party, which is not hidden. There's a lot of how many candidates does ADC have now? Dubemika Chukwu is a candidate. Atiku is a candidate. There's one more person, I've forgotten the name. Who's a second. I have about 3 candidates in ADC. So it is a court that will decide. P2B said he doesn't want issue of
that
courts,
type of, yes.
and move to NDC. Kenneth came after him. Must you not exist on your own without this guy? He has moved. He has stepped. Let him to step. Every day, Kenneth makes P2B his conversation. And Peter, left him alone. Why doing that? I asked Kenneth in one of the posts, why can't you go and be this president?
I saw your post.
Why are you
the vice president of Atiku? Why can't you
be the president or go and be the vice president? Are you not a lawyer? You are educated. You are qualified. You can't be the president now. Why are you
bothered
moving around
about this person?
Or go and be Atiku's vice. Atiku now chose Amechi as the vice. You say, no, I cannot support any candidate that is not from Igbo. You blame P2B for being, he's tribalistic. That's part of the things he blamed P2B about. But you couldn't support Atiku because he didn't pick somebody from your zone. Are you not being more tribalistic? So you're being very sentimental and you're being hypocritical of your own words because they didn't choose somebody for Southeast. That's why you didn't support Atiku again. Now, you're not for APC. You're not for Atiku. P2B is taking you to court. I don't know if there's any bondage more than that.
We saw living in bondage in 1993, and it is 3 years ago. It is very appalling that somebody like Andy is still living in bondage. Or is this the same case na Polo Akorare of Uma? Because do you think that they did not explain it to him? Because he doesn't seem to actually understand, even from that film. Do you think it's that case of Atiku? He did not explain this thing to me well.
He's supposed to understand these events in politics, but he choose to put himself in the bondage.
Victor Ume is also my senator. You know, I've also tried to see what he's doing, because all of us, we have right to know. We sent you there, and hopefully, upon what he has done, he won't be actually relying much on what P2B can do and everything. After now, there's something about Seahorse the other day, and Imam Chuku. What do you think is happening in that senatorial zone? If Anyoba, may God rest his soul, when he left, you know, Akoa, Seahorse was there. There was one Akai was there too. Imam Chuku was there. But I see no Imam Chugaga. And now Seahorse, Apiawago, Onyoabona, Jekulu, going to the field. What do you think will happen? Seahorse, Imam Chuku head to head.
Let's just oppose it with when they were going for that by-election. Akai was there. Seahorse was there. Imam Chuku was there. They were all level heading towards that primary or whatever, that election, primary election.
Yes.
What happened? That was the first time we heard about conclave. Remember, this thing started right from when they did the local government election. They left it for APGA alone. Every other party boycotted it. So, but that's a different conversation. Now, Seahorse has learned, they say once beaten, twice shy.
Yes.
So he calculated his political machinations and see that my political calculator will not work with APGA.
Yes.
Let me move to NDC.
Yes.
Of course, when he was announcing he's stepping down in that by-election, his supporters were crying. It was like a disappointment. I think on the morning of election, he's announcing that he's no longer going to run for that. So the question now became, the young man has been beaten before, so he has to he ran away to another party to save himself. So
Noya's Healthy Living PAP is a strategic response to a critical problem, malnutrition. An innovative program kicked off on August 3rd, 2024, with free distributions across the 21 local government areas of Anambra State. This purely organic supplement is designed to combat malnutrition among Anambra children. Due to its high demand, the distribution has been stepped down to community levels and made available to residents in all 326 primary healthcare centers in Anambra State, free of charge. Noya's Healthy Living PAP, beating malnutrition in Anambra State.
Currently, I'm not from that senatorial zone to track what the senator there is currently doing, but I know that Seahorse has the people's backing. If you look at the
grassroots
optics of what is around him, and he seems to be a welcoming person, and he seems to be, politicians sometimes when he's really a politician. Okay, he's trying to be a politician. Sometimes when they want to go into, they welcome everybody. When they get to that seat, the number will stop going.
Yes.
So, I hope it doesn't change. But the natural love and followership is getting with that. If election is conducted without any
interference,
bubuya somewhere, he's gonna win.
Clean. Mentioning Kenneth Okonkwo and P2B, I remember your post. You wrote the way attacks they fly on will be here and there. You would think he's the one running Nigeria. Okay, if he did that, Obi Melondia, everybody seems to have him as the answer to all questions. Why is your mother dead? My mother died on Tuesday because she P2B no be Why do you think he's the answer to almost every question asked?
That's actually a problem I don't understand. We have a country that is battling a lot of economic challenges following subsidy removal, which subsidy removal is good if they look at the mathematics, but we're not feeling the impact of the subsidy removal because we are still borrowing a lot. They reported economic gains of how much we've saved, but they've not tried to do the normal financial calculation. If you want to run your finances, you have to check how much I'm owing and how much I have. So if you say we have saved this amount, how much are we owing? Do the mathematics and tell us what is left. We have a lot of issues bedeviling the country. I think we should actually positively, constructively engage the person that has the capacity to make the change. Only President Tinubu has the capacity to make whatever change of any complaint we have in this country now.
Only him.
So we have to engage him. So when these media noisemakers come on board, instead of them to take one policy, like I've told you about health now. If I tell you the problem, that's how I do my thing. I can't just tell you the problem. I will tell you the problem, I will tell you the solution. Why can't you take up one that is in your area of alignment? You that you are in the media, you talk about that. So that Tinubu, for example, we see that and make a change. You see people from other parties running for election. They won't discuss anything about politics and governance and how to show the current president the blind spot on how to improve things. They will focus on P2B. Oh, P2B this. Oh, P2B that. Is P2B the one running Nigeria? That was what formed that post. Is he the one running Nigeria? He's not the one running Nigeria. So why can't you focus on the person that has the capacity to make the change? Now, even in Anambra State, in Southeast, before you announce that you're supporting Tinubu, you must first of all criticize P2B very well, insult him. So I think that is their badge. Being able to criticize P2B.
The criteria.
Is the criteria. But the funny thing is that Tinubu is smarter than all of them. Tinubu will not rate you by criticizing P2B. That's not what he rates you with, because Tinubu is a man that is big on loyalty, and he knows how to mess his fake loyal people up.
Sacrifice.
Because he's not what's the name of this one? The one they sent to Mexico.
Reno,
Omakre. All the nonsense that he did, he sees the one serving the same man.
Yes.
He said he's a drug balance, this and that.
Yes.
The same man you're serving.
Yes.
What changed? So your character is not consistent. Daniel Bola, the same thing. What changed? So your character is not consistent. So I like how Tinubu used to embarrass them. You talk negative of me, you be the one to market me as well. So when you now sit before the media, people would always be project. If I'm an interviewer, I'll tell you projecting what you said.
Hey, please, can we watch?
Can we watch?
Can we listen?
By the time we play 3 or 4, you get uncomfortable.
Yes.
So the point is, even I think Governor Soludo is big on democracy institutions, letting institutions work and all that. And he's quite an economic Caesar in the field of economics, being a former CBN governor. And he writes letter a lot. This thing I'm doing, I learned it from him. He's the one that writes a lot to leaders.
Right?
He writes a lot to lead us to lead well. He wrote during Obasanjo, why can't he use his wisdom to advise the president on economy? Why are they now focusing only on P2B this, P2B that, P2B this, P2B that? He just asked to be president. Anybody can ask to be president. Your job.
He has the right to
ask to be president. So if you don't like him, leave him alone. If you want to critique who has the ability to make a change, not who doesn't have the ability.
As a young solution, or say for that, if you want me to say solution, you should elect me. So why is he hiding updates? What do you have to say?
In that way, I believe any opposition person that wants to govern, you should calibrate your response to the problems of the country you want to lead.
Right?
So when you are asked, how do you solve the agricultural problem in this country? You should be able to give me,
That's why we have manifesto
If
now.
you do research, there's a preamble. You can just give me a preamble of what you want to do. Don't go to the nitty-gritty of the whole thing.
Yes.
If somebody copies you, it's even good that somebody copies you.
Yes.
It's for the good of the country.
So you think that he's wrong by trying to hide updates?
I think it doesn't take anything away from him if he comes on the media and tells us like a couple of things on how to fix things the way he wanted to do it. If Tinubu will need it, he copy it and do it now. It's not the same Nigeria that we are looking want to be better.
Still on Anambra politics, you were talking about the new airport. I have to research you, and you talked about the new airport. I think you quoted Igwe Umo saying something about Nanke Adogodaro can enwe issue another one. What do you have to say? What's your opinion about the new Anambra airport?
When they want to categorize Anambra in terms of landmass, they will use Lagos. That Anambra is the smallest in landmass after
Lagos.
Fine. So what it means is that we don't have a lot of land. An airport takes quite a lot of land and infrastructure around it. Now, if we need an airport, I think we have an airport already in existence. Have we used that airport up to 80% capacity of what it could be?
The potential.
It's not just the airport.
It is cargo too.
That road that people are passing through, there's a lot of fallow land there. Industries can establish there because it's also a cargo airport. So they can cargo. So why can't we effectively find a way to make that airport to have international standard? In that way, industries will locate their warehouse or whatever around there. So they can fly their goods abroad there. And keeping their warehouse around the airport.
Yes.
Boost business activities around there. It will be to the credit of Governor Soludo that he's one that brought this airport to international cargo standard. International airport standard. So if I fly from let's say Toronto, I will land direct in Umweri. Is it not a plus for me? I will clap for
It's a big deal.
So if you go there, it's like a warehouse. If you want to check in, problem. If you come back, the same issue. So we are measuring in minus. Why can't the government scale the one we have and use it at least 80% of its potential before running to a relatively known town with no enough commensurate commercial activities to drive an airport? See, it is commercial activities that bring airport, not provide airport and you now bring the commercial activities there. No.
One should come before one.
The industries should come and they now provide commensurate need for airports. You now provide it. Not bringing airport. It will say end up
just like the last one.
Like the other one. So I don't think it's a waste of money, to be honest. You see that thing you talked about, JIC, detergent
tissue.
If they put that money in providing that, is better. If they put that money in making sure that the woman that comes to the hospital providing their JIC and detergent doesn't provide it again. If they put that money in making sure that if anybody slums in government house, they say heart attack and they take into Amaku, they have an interventional cardiologist that would open up the heart again or lyse the stroke again to make sure, give them chance of living again. If they put that billions there, it's a better use of money than doing that airport.
Okay. And we're supposed to get a reference Atma, a reference CFO, a reference taxing. When you're talking about, I want to digitalize some of these things. That Anambra is still operating manually and everything. Kedo, if they are listening to you now, I want you to pitch that idea to us, digitalizing some of these things and tech innovations. You mentioned about Atma and some of these. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
Okay, I think my thought process on that regard is when I think I was infuriated when they say if you run one way, they will carry your car. This is for like for 1 month. I was like, what the hell is that? Who practices that now? See, if I'm driving in Canada or UK, if I'm on high speed or one way. Nobody's going to chase me. Camera, check them.
Over.
Before you go to your house, letter. Nobody will
Ticket.
tell you that you have to pay for that ticket. Do you know why? If you fail to the stipulated time on paying that
The
ticket,
system will catch up with you.
the next letter is court summon. What will tell you, you now have a court case on financial, and that's a criminal offense. So once you see that ticket, you rush and pay for it. Next time, if you remember how much you pay for that ticket, you won't go one way. You won't run on that speed. So you automatically call yourself meeting and change yourself. So what is the essence of Atma, led by a young man? I think he's been to UK to study, doing about chasing people around because they move one way. Why can't you simply bring a camera and put there? Whenever they move, you just capture them and let the technology do the rest.
And about something, boy.
Now, if you meet the person, there are other ways. I was arguing with people about seizing the car, not seizing the car. No, the car is not the offender. The human being behind the wheel is the offender.
Yes.
So if you want to seize something, seize the person's driving license. Subject the person to psychoanalysis to understand,
About the parking?
does this person have the capacity to drive? Does this person has ideal driving license? So by the time you check all these things, you see the loophole why that person
Is behaving
had
such
that
way.
wrong judgment to move against the traffic going one way. Let the car be. The car might be your car. Somebody took to just go and do this thing. Now so your car take go for 1 month.
Mechanic kiji motor mother meyena.
So these are the issues. Then the aspect of revenue collection. Anambra State, when I studied Governor Soludo a lot. I live in that Anambra.gov.ng. I go there to look at things very well because I don't like being caught talking OT. I like to talk about what I see, what they've said they've done,
Factors.
and scale it on. He gave us scaling method for him. Remember, we are not judging Soludo based on what Governor this is doing here or what is happening in Nigeria. He gave us a scaling metric, which is Dubai, Taiwan, Singapore standard. So when you see me judge what he's doing, critique what he's doing, I am analyzing it based on what happens in Dubai, Taiwan, and Singapore. I don't think Dubai, Taiwan, and Singapore pursues a car that's going one way. They have a system of technology. Secondly, the government will tell you, we have an improved revenue of, I think revenue was 2.2 billion. It increased to 5.2 billion. Beautiful. But even at that, there's still a lot of gap in the tax and revenue collection because chunk of that money percentage still goes to private pocket because when he became governor newly, there was a time they bidded for contracts on who is going to be in charge of all those markets. And I think I wrote something about that. There was a time government said, bring in your suggestions on how to... I wrote something. I gave one of my friends in government on how to leverage technology to collect revenue. And I will say it here. Divide Anambra into senatorial zone, already done. Divide each senatorial zone into catchment areas, needs to be done. So this environment will have a catchment area. Look at how you will create 1 million youths, millionaires. Is it 1,000 millionaire youth or whatever he's using his campaign? Look at how you create it. Get the youths to have strong, global, scalable technology solution training. When they are done with that training, of course, they have to put in their own money. Government will give them grants. They come back and establish catchment area offices for revenue generation for the state. So each person will be in charge of a particular area. Only the person takes care of that area. So what does this person will do in their area? Everything must be digital. People will either come to your shop or you visit their shop and you give them revenue card That revenue card, they can use their phone to subscribe and put money there. So they can come to your office or tap. Or you give them serial number, they can go to your website, choose the one that is in their catchment area, log in there, use their PIN number to pay their revenue, and it automatically comes to the portal of the person in charge of that catchment area. Nobody needs to come here and disturb you if you paid or not. The system automatically gives them roll call every month, those that have not paid for the month. That's the people they send tax folks to. And when they come, they should also come with human face, with dialogue, and with some element of maturity in the process of recovering this fund. So that way, those youths collect the money direct in a soft copy money. Soft copy money means there's no cash. Now, it remits directly to the government account, 100%. So the government now checks what did you collect at the end of the month from your catchment area. Let's say you collected 1 million. Okay. Because you're in business, we're going to pay you 30% to run your office, run your staff, and be in operation. So 30% of that revenue, or 20% of that revenue, or whatever percentage it is, the government gets all the money rather than collects their 70 or 80% of the money. So that way, nobody is giving anybody cash. That way, you've mapped out every business outlet in that catchment area. Everybody has a card, has a serial number. They either go and pay through their phone, or they go to the office and quickly tap the card there. Nobody does cash. That's a template I extensively wrote to segment Anambra into catchment revenue areas. Get young men to be trained to man these places, to become their business. This model can even be emulated by other states. That's how you create millionaires, 1,000 youth millionaires. Because each office, look at how many people we kept here, up to 20 or 30 people we kept here. That is how that catchment area revenue office will be working. They will create people that are in fund recovery department, in fund processing department, in complaints department. Because if your money didn't go, there's a lot of departments that will exist. So each office can have up to like 30 staffs being employed. So check how many catchment area offices you have in Anambra State and how many staffs you have in operation. You solve unemployment. You create millionaires and thousandaires. And the state becomes better. And government gets more money.
And I could walk ever. Lastly, on Anambra politics. Odika Iwatacharo, these progressives are working together. Odika, it did not sit well with you. Because it seems you feel that these guys are playing anti-party. And we hate Ndi Anambra. I want you to react to this. Your post reads, what happens to the Ebonyi Guba candidate of Apuga? Funds he used to buy from has been rubbished since his party leader said win for till 2021. Chai, Prof believes in institution, but isn't he living up to preserving Apuga in Ebonyi? What do you think is happening with this whole progress? Apuga that has other candidates, other places are still endorsing APC candidates. What do you think is even going on? Confusion or really strategy?
Like I told you earlier, before Professor Soludo became governor, whenever he mounts the podium to talk, I follow him a lot.
You listen well.
I was part of those that did yes, and we brought him out because I believed I was passionate about the guy. He is big on democratic institutions. He's big on institutions being scaled to be able to perform. So if you have been preaching on scaling institutions to be able to perform, and you have opportunity to scale one, which is APGA, as a democratic institution, do you know that there is no fidelity in what you're saying? Lack of fidelity in politics. Because APGA is an opposition party, whether you like it or not. It's not APC.
It is.
So APGA should always churn out quarterly or 6-monthly party sort of opposition declaration on the government in power on how to effectively run the country. Every 6 months, they should provide a strongly worded advice, insights to the government in power. This is how things should be. This is how we believe this should. That's how democratic institutions should thrive. And he has been preaching that before he became governor. Now he became the governor. The party, instead of playing the opposition role of giving the current party and the president their blind spot to perform better, they started singing progressive and working together. Now, from singing progressive and working together, you went to Ebonyi State. Somebody, a young man, used his money, hard-earned money, to buy the ticket of your party. You charged him millions. You came to his state. Instead of you...
As an APGA leader.
As an APGA
national leader.
Instead of you to do your normal Tinubu something, which is, to me, still abnormal, because you're supposed to be criticizing Tinubu, not praising him. You said, wait for the 2031. So that guy that bought that ticket of your party is a foolish man. How will he feel? I don't think that guy will sleep well that night. Because when my party leader has come to my state and rubbished my effort, it means that this party does not value democracy.
Have my interest covered.
So that is the problem.
This question we're concluding will lead me to the last one I will ask you about young men involvement in leadership. Do you think that we are deficient in that side? Young men being involved, and they quite involved. Are they even doing well? What do you have to say about younger people, coming into the game and then they not going involved? How are they even faring?
It's quite unfortunate that we have young men in governance, and because of the peanuts that drop from the table of the man in charge, they've lost their sense of reasoning. Of course, you have to send your brain on long sabbatical to be able to perform the job they are doing.
Very long
because they need to keep food on their table. I don't blame them, because I blame the poverty. Like I said, they've weaponized poverty and use it to hold you down. So young people, instead of asking questions to show these leaders their blind spot, critique them, and show them things that are not going well, they are shielding them away from those that are saying that and will declare you their enemy because you're coming after their boss. That's where they eat from. No! Your boss will respect you more if you look your boss in the face and tell your boss, Oga, this is not good.
This one no work.
But because they need to eat, they have bills to pay, they have mouth to feed, they cannot afford but become lackadaisical, become sycophant, and become experts in sycophancy. So, young people around political leaders has not lived up to expectation. The very few of us that are still talking, I don't even have anything to get. I don't want anything. I don't want any appointment. I don't need it.
If they offer, you will decline?
It will make me poor. That's the problem.
Lastly, your thoughts on Mark Okoye and SCDC. Let me quote you, because I like quoting what people say. So, if not because of Senate committee drilling, Mark won't prioritize making his commission spendings public. If you run a non-opaque organization, there is no need to be asked to show workings. I've dropped my daughter. So lastly, what are your concerns about Mark Okoye and how he's running SEDC? Go ahead, please.
I like Mark Okoye as a very refined, gentle, soft-spoken guy. I think I met him when we were doing that Obiano strike, when we were doctors in Amaku, we were struggling, and he did a
He was in government.
He was commissioner for budget and economic planning. So they brought him to come and present a slide and tell us how the state does not have money to pay us. So the guy did presentation to tell us how money comes and how money goes and nothing remains. So there's nowhere to get money to pay us. At the end of the day, the guy came at the side and said, so I show you human side. So you see, he has done the government one.
Yeah.
He's not telling me human side. I was on side. I said, you're doing what your guys has decided. But nonetheless, when they gave him that appointment, I think I congratulated him. And whenever they give people appointments, I'll write what I feel I should do. I think he copied that post and put on his wall. And I don't know him. I don't need to know him personally. But I believe when people were hammering him before, it was a bit too early. He needs to crystallize his ideas. But I believe anyway that if he actually desired that job, he should actually have some plans already
On ground.
so that when he gets it actually, he now
Run.
If you are interested in public office, governance, and dynamics on how to scale the leadership of a people, you should have a plan already. I don't believe that you should be a governor and it takes you 3 months to appoint your... See,
Cabinet member.
if somebody becomes a governor today, if I become a governor today, in the next 24 hours, I know who I will appoint for everything.
Are you sure? Government is vast, though.
Government is vast, but there's what we call key basic appointments.
Okay, you can say you know people that you
Key
avoid
basic
in
appointments.
key
And
basic
you also
positions.
know people you call to suggest, not just to appoint everybody. People you call to suggest, but it takes them 6 months to appoint. So when Mark came on board, I allowed, joining people that have been lambasting him to do something and all that. I kept on following him. It was a myriads of tours, symposium, and all these workshops and all that. That's good to raise the conversation and the mindset of our people into the current dream of where we are going. And Senator Nweye talked about fixing schools and all that. That's also good. But, what is the job of the local government? These are the people we have not talked about. Local government, they don't do anything there. Now, as he's become this chairman and drafted a budget, I saw a lot of snippets of the budget flying around in the media. In the media section alone, there were a lot of duplicity of items in the media. You have budget for roadshow. You have budget for image modeling, image making. You have budget for a lot of budgets that are, if you want to do branding, is branding not a blanket word that would have covered the other items we put there? So I told myself, if I had not seen him post this budget himself, I won't believe this thing. Up till then, he is not championed into being very open with what their budget is. That was why that attack came. That was why that post. Because if you have been running a non-OPEC organization, people will not question you because we know what you said you're going to do. Now, the money that you have already, you have used it on so and so. You don't wait for Senator Soludo to reveal to us that you're using this amount to do, and you start defending yourself. So I think he might mean good, but he can't walk alone. There are people flanking around him. There are also factors as well. But I'm not saying this to criticize him, but I'm going to give him a feedback. The feedback is show all workings. Populate your site. You have social media handles also. Create flyers of your budget, what you want to do. Our people are a bit impatient with what you can do with this, and they're comparing with Southwest that have secured rail and all those things. So create flyers and populate. You have very strong billions for media. Populate it and let people know what you plan to do. So they will hold you with something. Like Governor Soludo, I can hold him with something. I'll go and bring his manifesto. Page 34 to 38, health. What he said he will do is there. Some of them, 90% of them have not been done.
90%.
So if you check these items, populate it in your social media handle, in your site and all that. So when government releases money, you come and tell us, they've released. We don't even know they released money. Nobody knew they released money until that Senate session happened. It tells us that they've released this amount of money. This is where it's going. This is where it's going. This is where it's going. It becomes a very transparent organization that is carrying us along. So I will encourage him to carry us along more. Populate things, create flyers of his budget, spread it around himself so we know the authenticity of what is actually the items in the budget. And when money comes, populate that money has come and where they want to deploy this money. So that's my take.
Okunenyeife, Ibolife Wunata Cko, this is where we'll go draw the curtain. But before we let you go, I am in my final remark. enwe ya na-akpọ take your time na gbam because our interview if I ji adakwana bụ na dị iche we'll make sure we exhaust you. You know, some people before they come to our show ha na-atụ ụjọ na enwe ike mee nke emere nke mana ịnọdụzi ya na mana what we try to do is to bring out the best in you. Ọ bụrụ inwe final remark so that ị na-arụ oke ịghara isi enwe ihe nchọ ikwu nne ekwuru enwe ike nwekwa nke ikwubu before ịchọkwa re-emphasize. Ọ bụrụ inwe shout out maọbụ ekene maọbụ any other thing, please this is your time, please go ahead.
I want to thank the governor of Anambra State. Asineto Dike Nankome Omozo. People that knows me and knows how I write about the governor will think that I have anything personal against him. No. I want him to do well.
To succeed.
I want him to succeed.
If he succeeds, Anambra succeeds.
Those days when we were in school, that's why they have marking scheme. Somebody will mark you, somebody will talk about your report card and all those things. So he should listen to people that write about his blind spots. Blind spots include unmet promises, lack of fidelity in governance, governance ideals not being followed up to its effective implementation, manifesto, promises, and the issues bedeviling the people that they are crying about. You should look into it and also govern with compassion.
Compassion.
That's my own take.
Dalorin, nyekwu anyị shout out on Mbam. Go for na ekele Mbam.
Abiam Mabam. It's I was very surprised with the crowd here. And I was like, oh, you must be spending a lot of money every month to pay salary. So that is actually what the government should also look into. Like that Southeast Development Commission now. They should also look into these kind of outlets. How do we scale them to become better? Bigger office
space,
more space and more
gadgets.
Dynamic and global standard gadgets. Camera get very good and all that. But it could be better.
It could.
So government should look into these homegrown media outlets and find ways to give them a single-digit loan or influence them for them to take a single-digit loan because of business.
Business.
So you have to take a single-digit loan, about 5% or thereabout, to be able to scale. Loan now is about 28 to 30%. So it's in a kwadagi.
Na Amaku was a obono of Mumpoin Faber. I reckon Dr. Cko Charlie, acronym Cko. Charlie one boy for.
Now I go for now.
Okunenyeife, I reckon Cko. I'm an oga with Wugeli because Otego Boba. We don't just bring people to this platform, Makananye, the less busy. We'll bring people open that robam. Iman Oborobam. Cko, thanks for coming. We appreciate you. Ndeba ebe aka ga adotia kodono bosos afanka bo Chijioke Igwendo. Odogu bubu yamba ba ezbuto onya aba. Ka omesiano. Udo?
Thank you.
Ndeba anyị unu kpọrọ nya bụ oku anya azago. Ugbu a ị ga-abụ onye ọbịa na gbam na-agbanyeghị ebe ọbụla ị nọ n'ụwa. Ị chọrọ ka anyị gbaa gị ajụjụ ọnụ maọbụ ị chọrọ ka ụwa nụ ọnụ gị, deere anyị ozi maọbụ kpọọ anyị n'akara ekwentị ndị a ị na-ahụ n'ihu onyonyo.